What is up, Brassonians? I've got Choogie and I are back. We're back in the saddle.
Hello,
We're
we're
back in
back.
black.
Very excited.
I'm super excited. I do love playing the HotS, but my computer does not. So we are switching it to recording shenanigans, and so that you guys can still get sweet, sweet content. But my computer won't explode. Hopefully.
Are we not streaming this then? This is just you're just recording?
Yeah, this is recording. Yep.
Ah, okay.
So we can, curse right away. I guess. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know how that part works.
Actually, no. If it's going to YouTube, you can't use profanity in the first minute, I believe.
Oh, just the first minute. Okay. I usually try to keep
Yeah,
it 5, just in case. But
yeah. It kind
um,
of depends how long the video is. So I think if your video is over an hour, then uh, I think the time frame is increased.
they check a little
But the
deeper.
videos I usually, yeah, the videos I usually watch are between like 20 and 40 minutes, and they always have to stay nice for 1 hour. And there's a podcast that I watch that can be 2 hours, and they have to behave for 10 minutes.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, I
Yeah,
probably won't start cursing until the games, so I guess during the build I won't
yeah,
have cause to curse. So that
yeah.
works out. Or at least I shouldn't. Um, so Chugi was asking me about what kind of dudes I wanted to learn how to build, and I was like, hey, it's Women's History Month, it's Ladies Month, so let's do some ladies builds.
Yeah, we're gonna aim for a build and a couple matches per hero, I think, and yeah, it'll be good. I'm ready.
Yeah, and then for sure we'll always. I mean, we're always gonna choke all at the end, right? That's like our thing.
Oh yeah, we got it. We got to do
We
something.
haven't choke all in like 4 months. Like,
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you want to release it, but um, because if we're gonna do a build and a character match per episode, then we probably should have discussed this part off
off
of
stream.
recording.
No, it wouldn't be a Brass City stream if we planned it.
Yeah. Uh,
Well, we can do that in between. So for
yeah,
starters, I
yeah.
figured I've been digging Kerrigan lately, and I've been being bad at her, and it's been fun. So now maybe you'll build her correctly for me, and then I can do like all kinds of zany things.
Yeah. Well, my Kerrigan's only level 4, so we'll see. And she's been reworked once, maybe twice since. Well, maybe she just got like talent switches because all of her abilities seem to be looking pretty familiar
Looking
here.
pretty.
Yeah.
So, because we've got our Ravage, so we leap to a target, deal a bunch of damage, and if they die, then we get a charge back, which is cool.
One charge and refund mana. Okay.
Yeah, which is dope. And then Impaling
Good.
Blades, so after 1.25 seconds, it deals damage with a target and stuns them for a second. Um,
Excellent.
and Primal Grasp, so this cool claw thing comes out and it pulls enemies back towards you, deals a tiny bit of damage, only 25, but after 2.2.5 seconds, an explosion occurs and it deals a bunch of damage to the enemies. Plus, it gets them nice and close for you to ravage them all over again.
Yeah. Well, you can even pull them, impaling blades, and stun them. Or how many charges do you get with Ravage? Probably two.
I think it's 2, yeah.
So you jump in with Ravage. They say, "Oh shit." If they stick around to fight, then you impaling blades and you stun them. If they run away, you primal grasp, bring them towards you, then impaling blades, so they're stunned. You attack, and then they try to run away, then you ravage again.
You're like, ba 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 ba.
And by that time, they should hopefully die in that 1.5 seconds, so you get your charge back and 20 mana back.
And then you just.
See, so you asked about the hard difficulty on her, and
Yeah.
that's exactly that. This is exactly why, because I just gave you two game plans that you have options to that some characters don't really have. You know what I mean? So her abilities you're meant to chain all of her shit together
So it's because she's
to
more
do
combo-y.
one explosive burst damage. Yeah, yeah. So when you do something like this, when you're using all of her stuff all at one in a very short window, that's referred to as burst damage. So we're gonna blow out all this burst damage on her, and you have a couple options depending what your enemy does. And that's when the hard part comes in, because it's not just use Q, use W, use E, and you're done. It's, use Q. What's your enemy doing? Now you need to react properly, and if you don't, they might get away.
Versus,
You know what I
say,
mean? So
a
you have some
Vala,
options.
which is just like, I'm just going to stand back here and shoot arrows at you until you die.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
hers, yeah.
yeah.
Plus, with the way how I like to build Vala too, makes it even more easier because I love her talent, her trait rather. Her trait I really like, and so I do a auto attack build with her.
Yeah, and so you're literally,
So
you don't even have to think.
yeah, yeah. So my abilities just come second.
Yeah.
You dodge. If there's a group of minions, you do her big cone damage. And when there's an enemy hero trying to run away, then you shoot her skill shot one, her guided arrow one.
Yeah.
And then other than that, it's just basic attacks. If you're fighting structures, it's just basic attacks. So I make my Vala really really easy because that I find her trait really satisfying.
Oh, for sure. So that's why
While
Kerrigan's.
Kerrigan, yeah, she gets the hard section because you have options on depending on what your enemy does. You have to react properly and have options.
All right.
So,
We're
so that's
diving
what
in.
brings her to hard. Yeah. Well, let's see what this trait here. Speaking of trait, gain
Yeah.
10% of damage dealt from basic attacks and abilities as shields for 6 seconds. Shield amount gained doubled against heroes. Excellent. Yeah, so this is really great too, and this is again what makes her hard. So she is a very aggressive melee assassin, and by default, assassins are almost always all squishy. So she does not have a lot of health. But if you do it right and you're aggressive with her, every time you deal damage, you're gaining a shield that's going to keep you alive. And 6 seconds is a long time in this game.
Yeah, it is.
Uh, so if you are about to die, running away may not be your best decision. You might have to pop in a couple attacks, which seems counterintuitive a lot of times when you're low on health. Get a shield and then run away. So when they try to start getting you with a couple pot shots when you're running away, it's going to your shield. So that's the other part is to that's what's hard with her is that she is a squishy melee fighter, which sucks usually. Um, but she has a defensive part with being aggressive. So that adds to her hardness.
So I've played her a little bit. The only heroic I've messed with has been Maelstrom because that, you know.
Yeah, that's the easy choice and it's the reliable choice because you know exactly what you're getting. It's the good crowd control and good team fight choice. Uh, and then you can also move while you do it. So even if they're chasing you and you have to run away, you could pop that and use it because once you pop your ultimate, most enemies are going to run away from it.
Yeah, especially
So you can
in
pop,
AI. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you pop this and then you can run away. Uh, so yeah, this is a really good one. And the Ultralisk, so you summon your big Ultralisk, who's just a big like pet guy. Does a bunch of damage on the first hit to a enemy hero, and they stun him. And then he sticks around, so he's like a pet that will fight with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and their basic attack does 50% of splash damage. And so sounds like you're gonna click and you're gonna pick a hero that this guy's gonna target. So this is better for single target purposes, and then they'll focus that person. And then the only hard part with this is if you no longer want to do that, or if they're running away too far away, you have to reactivate your Ultralisk ability to a new target, and then he'll leave that one and go for your new target.
Okay.
So that's the only difference with that. So in a team fight, I don't know how great the Ultralisk will be, although he does do splash damage, and it is another bot. So you know what? I take that back. It probably would be good in a team fight because now that's just another source of damage they have to worry about.
It's an extra body they gotta take down. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. But it also depends on your team composition. So, for example, if I'm using Elite Tauren Chieftain and I power slide in, I stun the whole team, and then I do my ultimate mosh pit where he just rocks out and everyone parties and dances, Maelstrom is going to tear up because no one can move in that duration of his ultimate. So while he's doing it, they're just stuck there, and your team can just annihilate them. And if you Maelstrom into that circle, then you're just gonna plow down the whole enemy. Like they're all gonna take the full damage of that power.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. So yeah. So you have your AOE and your single target one, but also you need to pay attention to who your team is
Okay.
because that can because like I said, if you have a group stun kind of thing, Mael Maelstrom would be probably the more beneficial.
Okay. That checks out.
Yeah. Or if there's a lot of single target stuns, then the Ultralisk might be the better choice.
Yeah, because then they can just focus fire that one stunned dude.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the part with Kerrigan that again adds to that hard factor of hers is what's the best option. It's not cut and dry, you know.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So on to talents. Finally, on to the talents. So what do you want to do with her necessarily? Because
So,
I can easily guess already based on her talent or her trait. We can probably make a defensive build and make sure we get as much shield as possible. Or of course, there's going to be uh, the obvious damage build,
um,
and maybe even a basic attack build. Because already I'm seeing a lot of shield stuff on tier 1.
yeah, I think I went more basic attacky, but I think that's also because I hadn't played her, so I was like, well, basic attacks are always going to happen, so that's safe, you know.
Right.
Um, so I'm trying to think. I mostly use Ravage. I have found that impaling blades, because you wouldn't think that 1.75 seconds is so long, but it's definitely long enough to get the hell out of dodge. So I found that was much less effective. So I think I focused most of my traits when I built it on either Q or to do the Ravage effects or basic. So it looks like here
Okay.
I went with the Fury of the Swarm.
Okay. Well, okay. Siphon impact. Enemies hitting an enemy here with Ravage grants 100 points of assimilation shield. Pretty good. Um, that's a lot of shield, and I think Ravage you're pretty much gonna focus heroes anyway because that's your dive
Yeah,
move.
that's your
So
sprint in. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you can't go wrong with this. So Q, this is an excellent choice. Assimilation mastery. Regeneration globe healing grants 50 points of assimilation shields. That's cool. Per second while active. Very cool. While assimilation is active, Kerrigan's health and mana regenerate is increased by 150%. Wow.
Isn't that nuts?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is really cool. The only issue with this, because I play Imperius a fair amount, and he's got the same kind of. He's got one that buffs regeneration globes as well. Excuse me. The only issue is, um, if there's no globes, then you're not getting benefit.
Yeah, they're not doing
And
nothing.
when it comes to, because the only time you get globes is through beast camps or minion waves, and those minion waves do get fairly scarce when it comes to the end game. Just because you're pushing so far, you're typically gonna slaughter the wave. Because like when we get to the core, all the waves form, and then we just crush them all right away.
Yeah, and everybody's doing so much damage that
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It gets to the point where sometimes you're at full health when those waves spawn, and you don't actually benefit from the globes. Although she will always get shields from the globes. So this one isn't really. This one's not bad actually. I think though. I think siphoning impact might be a little better than assimilation mastery
Okay.
because there's almost always going to be the biggest threat on the map are the enemy heroes. So getting 100 points of shield right off when you engage, on top of whatever the move is going to do anyway, that's really solid.
Yeah.
Fury of the Swarm, though, gain 10% more assimilation shields from basic attacks. After casting Ravage, Kerrigan's next basic attack within 3 seconds splashes for 100% damage. Okay. Can you Ravage minions?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, you can get all up in
okay.
there. Yeah.
And this is cool. So you can dive. Okay. So, okay, this is really cool. So Siphoning Impact is your anti-hero choice. So if you want to be a hero killer, do Siphoning Impact. Assimilation Mastery is just kind of the passive. It makes strategy with the globe, so you don't want to just pick up a globe right off the bat. You might want to wait until it lingers a little bit to purposely take some damage. But Assimilation Mastery is just a easy passive that just will help your survivability. Fury of the Swarm is going to be more of a better wave clear option. Now, it'll be nice to, because now if you dive an enemy hero in a group fight, you can Ravage, and now you're going to be doing splash damage after you Ravage an enemy hero. So it's still going to be beneficial in that regard. But your shields are only going to benefit from your basic attacks. So I would say, depending what you want to do, either pretty much your option 1 is versus heroes, option 2 is survivability, option 3 is wave clear.
Okay.
They all sound pretty good. I would still stress not assimilation mastery.
Okay.
Not that it's bad, it just seems like it may not be as great.
That's fair.
Like, I think Fury of the Swarm is going to be beneficial more early game, and you're going to lose benefit with it late game. Unless we're losing and they're attacking us in waves and waves of minions. Siphoning Impact is going to be the most aggressive against heroes, always.
I'm sure if we get that Zerg map too, then like it's definitely like Fury of the Swarm. Yeah.
The Zerg map, Fury of the Swarm would be excellent on that map. Yeah, that's what's so great about the builds. So we can make a separate. You know what? I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I figured I would just build both. I was like, I've got build
Yeah.
1 as like the minion one. I got build 2 as like the smash the heroes one, and then
Build 3 will be survivability.
yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Moving on. Yeah, so that's what's nice with these build things is now when you see the map, then you just know like, okay, cool, this is gonna be better. Okay, sharpened blades. This is the stun move, right? Sharpened blades? Oh,
Yeah,
no, Ravage.
this is
Okay.
Ravage.
Minions and heroes that die within 1.5 seconds of being hit by Ravage, which is something we want to do anyway, because that's how we refund our mana and our charge. Increase the damage up to a max of 75. That is cool. Minions grant 1 damage, heroes grant 5 damage. After reaching 75 damage increase, Ravage gains 50 additional damage. Wow, an extra 125 damage on Ravage.
Yo.
Wow. Okay, then definitely, right off the bat, for your hero killing build, go ahead and put Sharpened Blades for anti-hero.
Pop that one right on there.
That is so good. That is so good. especially having two charges. You can get in the team fight. You can maybe land 3, even 4, perhaps. You know,
Yeah, especially if you get it
and
right back.
if they die within 1.5 seconds, which is the whole point of all of this, which does make it harder though. That means it's more important to kill the enemies at 1.5 seconds. You have a second and a half to make sure they die to really get that bonus. So that is the hard part with this now.
Yeah, you got to pay. Yeah, don't
That
dive in there at them when
yeah.
they're full health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's especially um yeah, this pushes you to not use Ravage as an engage, even though you have 2 charges. Um, because yeah, you could potentially in a good team fight, if your team really melts the whole team down, you could potentially hop from team member to team member to team member and just kill them all with Ravage, because you're always going to have 2 charges, or and then also get one back.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, this is excellent anti-hero, but it makes it a lot more important to land those last hits. Okay, so kinetic fulmination, damaging an enemy increases the damage of Kerrigan's next impaling blades by 10 seconds up to 10% by 10% up to 100%. Damaging enemy. Okay, that's interesting. Does impaling blades work on minions?
I haven't seen.
Because if it does, this will be good for crowd control. Because then you can stun the whole group and do more damage. Because this is damaging an enemy. What does Impaling Blade say? After blah, 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 deal damage to enemies in the target area. Okay, yeah, so this should be good for crowd control. Damaging an enemy increase. Yeah. So if you hit a whole group of minions, there's 7 minions in a single group. So you could potentially so you can hit the same hero a bunch of times just by damaging them by any means. It doesn't specifically say how. So just do damage and you'll get a buff, which should show up on the bottom left corner of your screen. You'll get a buff of Impaling Blades. And then when you use it, you can use it on a minion wave and they'll take extra damage.
Oh, okay.
So this could be really good for crowd control. And then Psionic Pulse Primal Grasp explodes a second time, 2 seconds after its first explosion. That's okay, that's kind of cool. Pull on targets to after 2 seconds. The explosion occurs, doing around Kerrigan, dealing damage. And then 2 seconds later, it'll do it again. Okay, well, that's a good crowd control one, too. The only issue with it is you're already waiting 2 seconds for the first explosion to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So enemies could run away.
Right, and then they've
Although that too bad it's in the same tree as Sharpened Blades, because by getting that extra explosion, that could be what kills your hero. You could ravage them, and then that explosion goes off.
Yeah.
So it's too bad they're in the same, because those two would stack nicely together. So I would say build for your AoE build. I think I would go with Kinetic Fulmination. And if I'm being honest, build 3, I don't really know. Because none of these are really like survivability options.
So you think even with a killing minions build, you don't think Sharpened Blades is worth it?
Oh, that's true though. Getting the minions. If we're focusing on wave clear though, for our uh, wave clear build,
Hmm.
because Ravage still only kills one enemy or targets one enemy. Uh, Impaling Blades will do the whole group because it's an area of effect.
Yeah,
So if you put that area of effect over the minion wave, then you'll hit the whole wave.
but Fury of the Swarm says we're getting splash damage from our Ravage.
You're right.
This is why I don't like building, because it's like, but what about this? But what about this? Now I'll admit, when I was picking my fourth talent, I was just following the Choogie school of the basics of just like quest thingies, usually good. It's what I was going
Yeah.
by. But
The only issue with the splash damage on the wave clear is how much splash damage is that truly going to be?
well, we can experiment.
Because two, the other thing too is even when you ravage somebody, you're still only ravaging one target.
True.
So even if you kill the whole group with that splash damage, only one of them got hit by ravage.
That's true.
So that's my thought there.
All right, let's go with it. I mean, we got time to science, right? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because again, I'm not a master at Kerrigan, so I might be really wrong.
I we're gonna find out.
Okay. Yeah, Queen of Blades reduces the cooldown of Ravage by 3 seconds. That's really solid in itself. And increases its damage to minions and mercenaries by 100%. Okay. That is cool for sure. Okay. The mercenary part, the 3 seconds is great, especially having 2 charges. You can ravage a lot. That's the most important part of this. The minions, whatever, it's fine. Mainly just because, like, yeah, you can kill the minions. They only give you 1 damage, though. So I suppose in your single target build, if you want to get your quest done and you're having a really hard time doing it, Queen of Blades would be helpful because it makes it more reliable to at least gain one extra damage.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
You know. Boundless Fury. Hitting an enemy hero with Ravage grants a charge of Ravage. Oh. Can only occur once every 10 seconds per hero. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. So this makes it how I was saying in a team fight. A team fight versus heroes, like if you're beating them all down, how I could say you could potentially bounce around to enemies.
Yeah, and just
Um,
done, done, done.
yeah, and you can get your charge back. Well, this is going to give you a charge just from landing on a hero. So this can make you even more aggressive. It's only 10, so it's only once every 10 seconds per hero. So as long as you hop to a different hero, you'll get that charge back, even if they don't die, which makes, okay, so this makes engaging, using Ravage to engage the enemy, it makes it safe because now you can engage and still have 2 Ravages to eliminate that hero when they try to run away.
Oh, okay.
So this, for single target, this might be really, really good. Bladed Momentum. Basic attacks against enemy heroes reduce the cooldown of Kerrigan's basic abilities by 0.6 seconds. Okay. That's cool. 0.6 is not that much. This is not better than Boundless Fury. I'll say that.
Okay. So it seems like Boundless Fury is like you're trying to kill the heroes build, and Queen of Blades is like your wave clear build.
Yes. Yeah, we could do that.
That's what it sounds like to me, but I
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm assuming mercenaries will also give you one damage as well towards your quest. Oh, though we didn't choose the quest for.
For the wave clear.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Queen of Blades. Mm,
I know, it's like ravages everything with her, it feels like. But, I mean, I
yeah,
could be looking at it wrong, but that's what it feels like.
yeah. Well, the point of the wave clear is just to clear out the waves fast. Um, and sharpened blades is all about doing more damage with your ravage, which is your big hero killer. So I don't. Yeah, this is kind of tough because like doing more damage to minions and mercenaries is good. It's more important about the mercenaries
Yeah.
because those guys can actually be tough. The minions aren't going to be, because halfway through the game you're going to be able just to basic attack minions
Yeah, you're gonna
pretty
one-shot minions,
quickly
yeah.
anyway. Yeah, I guess this is a trial and error moment, really, because if you're having a hard time um getting your quest done for the Ravage quest, then Queen of Blades makes that a little bit easier because it's going to make it more reliable to get those damage perks from minions and mercenaries. So
Okay.
kind of toy with it. It's definitely good for wave clear because we're doing more damage to those guys we have to clear out. But it can also be reliable in your single target build if you're having a hard time getting those 1.5-second kills.
Yeah, that makes sense. So for 10, for the big heroic, I mean, we were saying it could go
Yeah.
either way, basically, depending on who we're fighting. So, but we both agreed that Maelstrom was kind of the dope one.
Maelstrom is great.
Yeah.
Definitely for your wave clear build, do Maelstrom for sure.
Yeah.
Um, build 2 is for the single target, or your anti-hero build rather, not single target. I'm not going to mark it because depending on the situation, they could both be good. I
Yeah.
would say for your anti-hero one, this is when you look at your teammates.
Yeah. Who's got stuns? Who's got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and also too your enemy as well, because while you're channeling Maelstrom for 7 seconds, Murden can stun you, Stitches can eat you. There's a lot of interrupt. A new Barak can knock you up. So there's ways where the enemy team can break Maelstrom
Yeah. I've
pretty
definitely gotten
easily.
eaten
So
by Stitches in the middle
yeah,
of a Maelstrom.
yeah. So Maelstrom is good, but you can get knocked out of it, and it would really not feel good to get 2 seconds out of your Maelstrom and then get knocked out of it. Okay, so 13. Psionic Barrier. Each enemy hero hit by Primal Grasp grants 20 spell armor and 4% additional, or 4% movement speed for 4 seconds, stacking up to 20% move speed. Okay, this is cool. Primal Grasp. Each hero. Wow, so you can get, if you get all 5, you can get 100. You could negate all spell damage.
Yikes.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. Wow. Volatile power. Increase the damage of assimilation. Increase the amount of assimilation shields granted from damage dealt by 10%. But reduce duration of assimilation shield. Nope.
Yeah, that one I didn't dig at all.
Nope. That's half. That's 50%. For only 10% more? Nah, thank you. That's caca. Chrysalis. Activate to place Kerrigan in a chrysalis with 750 health for 5 seconds. While inside, Kerrigan drains 5% of her max. Oh, enemies can destroy the chrysalis to end its effect early. Okay. This is
So
definitely your survival build. Put chrysalis in there.
yeah, for me, I picked that because I especially, and even for that, like the not having to hearth or the not having to run back to a regen
Yeah.
well, and just like kind
Yeah.
of back off a little bit, get that little tick, and then go is
Yeah.
was really helpful.
Yeah, that's something I play Muradin a lot, and his trait makes it to where when you're not in combat for 4 seconds, then he gets this a massive his heal over time just gets boosted up drastically. And being a tank and not having to go back, being able to stay in lane, is incredible.
Yeah.
So I would say across the board, Chrysalis is amazing.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I
Because
picked that one
again,
right.
even going as a we go back to what I was saying originally. She's a melee assassin, so she's squishy, and she's melee, so she needs to be up in the fight. So you're gonna get beat up, and if you mess up and you don't do the shields right, you don't get her shields right, you could die really fast. So it'll be great to run away and be able to heal.
Yeah.
And even then, you don't even have to run away that far. You can even just stand behind your team and do it. You know, you don't even have to like leave the team fight necessarily.
They just hide
Just
in the
make sure
bushes.
just make sure your team's in front of you, or yeah, just go hide in a bush. Yeah, Chrysalis is pretty amazing. Oh, she has a heroic upgrade in her 16.
Yup.
Wow. Okay. Mounting potency ravage grants 5% spell power for 5 seconds, up to 40%. Ooh, okay, that could be really good. So spell power is going to increase ravage because ravage is one of your spells. Um, and if we choose that talent that makes you land a hero and it gives you a charge back right away, um, you can ravage the same hero twice and get 10% spell power right off the bat.
Yikes.
So this could be cool when stacked with that one. Painful spikes. Enemies hit by impaling blades take an additional 70 damage the next 6 times. Kerrigan takes damage with. I paused and it confused me. Okay, enemies hit by impaling blades take an additional 70 damage the next 6 times Kerrigan takes damage. Damages them with 5. Damn, that's the second. I can't read this. 70 damage. The next 6 times Kerrigan damages them within 5 seconds. Okay. Okay, I get it.
So again, in my playing her, which, has only been for the, 3 1/4 levels or whatever, um, I have hit with spikes maybe 3 times. Like they always run out, and I'm playing against AI, so it's not like I'm not even playing against real brains, and they know like, oh, spikes time, and they just walk right out of it. So either I'm
Yeah.
playing her wrong, which
Um
again is possible, but
yeah.
it just seems very not effective.
Yeah. This would probably maybe be good for your crowd control build.
Okay.
As you landed on that minion wave, and then you have 5 seconds to do an additional 70 damage to anyone hit by that. So I'm going to put that down for my wave clear build. And let's see what Unbridled Energy is. Damaging a hero with a heroic ability grants 35% spell power for 4 seconds. That's very cool. What is our cooldowns on our heroics? 90 seconds and 80 seconds. So the cooldowns aren't awful.
No, it's not bad.
That's not bad. 35 for 4 seconds, or a potential 40 for 5 seconds, pretty much. What did we choose in our... Okay, we did choose Boundless Fury in our build. I don't know. This is... I would say go with mounting potency for now.
Okay.
And if you're just not really maxing out that 40% frequently, then just switch to Unbridled Energy.
Okay. Both good. Both fine choices basically.
Yeah, because basically, mountain potency, you get 40%, you get a larger percentage for a longer time, but you have to build it up. So if enemies aren't there to land it, you're not going to get it.
Fair.
You're not going to reach. So if it's a single target, with our talent, you can land 3 ravages on a single target before you have none. So you can get 35% for 5 seconds. So, which is only one more than unbridled energy.
Right. Okay, and then Big Daddy 20, which I never get to.
So this I don't. Well, damaging unbridled energy. It doesn't specify that. Well, it doesn't specify that it's stacked. So I think if you hit multiple heroes, then you're not going to get more.
Yeah, it's just a 35 flat, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if you mounting potency, if you don't get at least 35 frequently, then unbridled energy might be better.
Okay.
But you also aren't going. You have a minute and a half, 80 seconds to 90 seconds before you can benefit from this thing again. While mountain potency, just one ravage is going to make you 5% stronger. So I don't know. Mountain
Yeah.
potency might be better. Period, because it's what's the cooldown on it? 8
On
second
Ravage?
cooldown.
Yeah, you're doing that all over the place. Yeah.
8 second cooldown. We have
plus 2 stacks, plus 3 stacks.
Boundless Fury will give us a stack recharge. Killing them in 1.5 seconds will give us a recharge. Where was the other?
Yeah, I think
maybe we didn't.
I think potency is definitely where it's at.
You're getting Ravage back. So Ravage might be better, period, because every 8 seconds you're getting 5% minimum. So just on the uptime, Mountain Potency might be better, period.
Yeah, I think that checks out.
Yeah, unless Wave 20 makes it one of those ultimates incredible here. Maelstrom's duration is increased by 0.25 seconds every time it damages a hero. Oh, that's pretty cool. But again, if you're not hitting a lot of heroes, the benefit's not going to be as great.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say that. Torescu? I don't know.
Torask, I guess. Yeah, Torask, I guess.
Increase the health and basic attack damage of the Ultralisk by 20%. The Ultralisk morphs into an egg when it dies. The egg isn't killed within 4 seconds. A new Ultralisk is born. Okay, that could be cool. Assimilation Blaze. Damaging an enemy increases basic attack damage by 2% for 5 seconds up to 40%. That's pretty cool. Sonic Shift. Activate to teleport to a nearby location, dealing 50 damage to nearby enemies. Drainage 300% increased assimilation shields for the damage dealt. Oh, that's pretty cool too. So Sonic Shift is a active. It's like it'll be a big burst engagement. So instead of engaging with Ravage, you want to engage with Psionic Shift every time you can. Because if you can hit the whole team, they're going to take a lot. Well, they'll take 50 damage, and then you get 300% of that damage as shields. Yeah, so if you hit one hero, you'll get 150 shields. And if you hit all 5, that's a lot.
That's a come at me, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's be 250 damage times 300% is a lot of shields. Full shields.
Yeah.
So Sonic Shift is cool. But that's really aggressive. You really gotta pop that in there real good. I don't know. Because Assimilation Blades is easy because it's passive and you're always basic attacking. And it's just attacking an enemy. It's not even a hero.
Yeah, it's just hitting something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when I...
Same with Psionic Shift.
Yeah.
You could do that to anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I will say it seems... Blades and Shift are the two that sound better. I think those two are better than the heroic buffs.
Okay.
Not that the heroic buffs are bad.
I think for my playstyle, I like the blades better.
Yeah, blades is good.
I know I tend to get like hyper focused, and then trying to think about where to shift to is not gonna, for my playstyle, would probably not work because I will be too
Yeah,
busy clicking.
Psionic Shift adds a little more um, thought into things.
Yeah, and like knowing where they
Simulation
are.
Blades is the easy choice. With your two heroic ones, that again, that depends on what your team is.
Yeah,
Because like Omega Storm, you can keep every time you hit a hero, it increases its duration. Like I said, if you get a setup where the whole enemy team is stunned, and you hit every single hero, that's 0.25 per hero.
yeah,
So that's 1.25 seconds if you get the whole team locked down. And it's you could stay in Maelstrom for a long time.
yeah. Then you start hitting them for, instead of 7 seconds, it's more
Yeah.
like 8, 9, 10
Yeah.
seconds. Yeah,
So yeah, so they're definitely good. The problem with the Ultralisk one is when it dies, if it dies chasing a hero down, it may not be in a safe location, so it could get broken down really fast.
yeah, that's true.
So, but again, that's also nice because if it comes back, then that's an extra guy on the field for longer. So I think Assimilation Blades is the easy default choice. The other two heroics, that depends on your team. And Psionic Shift is really good, but it also means you need to be very smart with how you use it.
Yeah, you'd
'Cause
have
it's
to
on a
really be on it.
70-second cooldown. Yeah, so it's a very aggressive ability. Good, but aggressive.
For sure. Well, obviously I've been playing her, so my loadout is set to the super sweet Halloween skin.
Yeah.
I got a lot of Kerrigan skins like randomly. I think that's part of why I was like, oh, I'll play her because I've got like all these freaking skins. So
That's cool. Yeah.
so the
Which
Halloween
one's
one is my fave, I think. So I will stick with that. And
I lost Kerrigan. Where did she? Yeah, what skins do I have for her?
oh, that one's cool.
Uh, yeah. So this is like a fantasy version of her Warcraft. Or Starcraft. She's from Starcraft.
Oh, okay.
She was a ghost, which explains the bodysuit she has. They're like there are these like tight bodysuit things because they can cloak, so that's like a special material that allows them to cloak.
Oh, okay.
Um, so this is basically kind of like a version of what if she back. So she was a human, Terran is what they're called. She was a Terran ghost, so she has psychic abilities. Ghosts are usually gifted in some regard. Uh, but then she was betrayed by what was the leader of the Terran army, and they were left behind because the Zerg were infesting this planet. And so he just said, "We are leaving right now." And then Raynor, who was her lover, he was like, "Well, she's still there. We got to save her." He's like, "No, we're going." And instead of being killed by the Zerg because she has psionic powers, they actually brought her back to the hive mind and transformed her into the Queen of Blades, which is what we know her as now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So this costume is kind of a fun version on if, as the Queen of Blades, if she turned back to the Terran side and was a ghost again.
Okay.
So she still has her like her Predator dreadlock kind of situation going on, but she has tech wings kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's just kind of a cool thing there. And then yeah, I got a Halloween one as well.
Oh, yours is pretty.
And then I got a couple cheerleaders. And I got the succubus as well from Warcraft.
I like the succubus skins a lot. I think those look
Yeah. Oh,
cool.
I got several. She's only level 4, and yeah, I have so many skins for her.
I know there's some of them. I have that with Chromie. Like, I was like, man, I kind of want to pick Chromie because I've got like 4 skins for Chromie randomly. Like, oh my god, yeah, you have so many skins for her.
And this used to be her heroic. They used to have heroic skins, which you could only get when you reach level 10 with the hero.
Oh, gotcha.
So those were because now once they did a whole revamp of the game, and they made all those things more available.
Openable in chests and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
I've got a orange one and I got a green one.
You just have all of Kerrigan's skins.
Yeah, I barely play her.
All right,
I'm gonna do Augur because he's the new guy.
Oh, sick.
How much time did we just go through?
That was 50 minutes, Captain. It'll take 10 minutes to go through a build.
Are you serious? Oh my god. Well, we should cut right now. That's an episode.
Yeah, we will be right back, Brysonians, with the sick gameplay.
Post it as Kerrigan build, and then we'll get into the gameplay.
Sounds good.
Oh
all right.
God.
Like, share, and subscribe to check out more of this content, and we'll see you soon, Brysonians.
I talk too much. Sorry, Bryson.